Good evening, Wriggleport. Let's cut to the chase. I just stole from Lady Morrodale's antiquities. If you don't recall the significance of this particular heist, I came here a week or two ago to perform recon. You see, Sir Edmund Beckett, N's sworn enemy, one of many, is a patron of this shop, so I thought I could learn about him by visiting. Instead, I found an artifact from Siri. It is a calendar and star chart combined, and I haven't seen one like it in years. But I also had the displeasure of meeting Lady Morrodale herself, the shop's namesake. Long story short, she made an assumption about my value and conduct, deemed me unworthy of owning the artifact, and ordered me out. So, naturally, tonight, by cover of nightfall, I broke in and took it. Not without payment, of course, I'm not impolite. I left her a copper for her troubles. I'm sure that'll suffice. It might strike someone as a strange conclusion to a day otherwise spent brooding in my hotel room, but it makes plenty of sense to me. I had a small outburst at Damon, a summary of frustrations and whatnot felt over the past few days, years, maybe, some of his making, many of my own. Suppose something in me snapped, and the only solution to it all was getting back to my roots. As a saboteur, as a pirate, as a former student of House Cannith. Who knows? But I do feel better. And then there's the rest of the day. We really have been making quick work of the hours. Audrey and Luca on their way to be brought on in an official capacity with House Madani. Detective Brina will have the contract ready maybe the day after tomorrow, at which point I will no longer be permitted insight into the case. Legally, anyway, I say, with a priceless stolen artifact in my hands. Speaking of criminals, Kai and Luca managed to meet with Captain Miraldine at the hospital and secure an appointment with her regarding our plans to speak with her partner using necromancy. Recall the nemesis I mentioned earlier, Sir Edmund Beckett? Well, yes, he was there too, apparently trying to make a generous offer to Captain Miraldine in light of her loss. We know that he had intention to take Tarek's opera to Shan, and he was rejected, which we've been calling a motive since Tarek's untimely death. This is part of that puzzle, and proof we are not the only people in Regalport moving quickly to bend fortune in our favor. In any case, credit to Kai for not throwing a knife through him then and there. I'm sure N wanted to say the very least. They are a boiling pot. I can hear the lid shaking on the stove. And I suppose I would know, I just boiled over tonight myself. On the other side of town, Seeker Islay, who harbored our Bloodsail fugitives Vaelia and Dragovich, is also missing. N found their journal, where they expressed remorse at being involved in the attack, fear of being reprimanded, and apparently disappointment at Seeker Nereus for refusing to make them into a sentient undead. It seems this rejection is what pushed Seeker Islay towards the Order of the Emerald Claw, meaning they would allow him to become sentient undead. Rather, they would allow them to become sentient undead and live free from fear of death. There is a weight on this situation that I am in the process of understanding, and I am afraid that Luca might understand this all better than he remembers, and that it's only a matter of time before that bubbles to the surface. In the way that the fireball put him back into the war, I'm cautious that this talk of undead and emerald claws is going to be familiar in some way, and destructive by that same merit. But that is why I made him an anchor. I'll have to have faith in that, I'm sure. Luca is bursting at the seams to speak to the Seeker, any Seeker, about it and see this all resolved neatly. I just hope Islay hasn't gotten themselves into an irreversible situation. Their fate will weigh heavy on the group, and we are already carrying much. Well, specifically right now, I'm carrying treasure, which is a nice change of pace. Indeed, when the sun comes up, I'll be back to work. A meeting with Wolfred Bartosz in the afternoon, perhaps a hunt for Seeker Islay, more to learn about the death of Tarek Elham and the fate of these city streets and all its inhabitants. But for now, a moment to breathe.
All right. We pick up with Willow on a rooftop balcony somewhere in Regalport. A bundle of snacks, legally acquired, sitting next to your very illicitly gained astronomical globe.
No, I
Summer
don't
is
actually.
encroaching
Oh,
in the
I was gonna
sea
mention
breeze. Yeah?
Sally. I don't think Willow would have gotten snacks yet. I think Willow went
Oh,
straight
okay.
into a hiding spot to lay low
Oh, of course.
because they
Yes.
have their mask off this whole time. But yeah,
Right, yes. Of course. Well then, redact the snacks.
no snacks for Willow. Well, except for this. Willow holding treasures.
I don't know if you can get your mouth around that globe. Anyway.
How big is it?
It's a globe.
Like a globe? Like a world globe sized?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
a smallish world globe size, so about the size of like a small volleyball.
Yeah, perfect. I imagine Willow's like sits like either a balcony or like a rooftop, just somewhere very secluded,
Yes.
and like places it down and then like removes their bandana from the top of it, like they are revealing a grand treasure in that way of like removing a curtain or a sheet, and it is a grand treasure.
It is.
No one's around me, yeah?
Nope. Well, you can double check by making a stealth check. Advantage because you are in your armor.
I am. Ooh. One moment. My screen is just loading. Loading.
Did you forget to open the game?
Advantage.
I'll take your silence.
Lol.
You're maybe a little too excitable to be good at sneaking.
Can I do a perception check to make sure I'm alone before I whip off the bloody
Yeah. Go ahead.
curtain?
Yeah.
And Fish Dog can give me advantage. Fish Dog is with me.
Yes. Fish Dog is keeping an eye.
Can I keep climbing until I roll a better perception?
Also too excitable to see other people.
Nope, this is...
The...
You have to accept the consequences of the dice.
Okay. Well, Willow will peek at it then.
Yeah.
Let's say we're feeling bold.
Yeah. You're feeling especially bold.
Am I feeling bold enough to... So is this the kind of thing that you activate? Like you hit it and it starts doing stuff?
It's more like you slide it into place. It's a little bit the map from Treasure Planet in the sense...
Exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah. Carry on. Sorry.
In the sense
just one of my
like
favorite visual things from all time. Yes.
Yes. In the sense that you like twist the parts of the globe so that like there's a little dial that does like year, day, time, that sort of thing to arrange. It's like a layered system of sort of glass spheres. So
can I set it to today's date and like activate it then? Activate it, air quotes.
Yes.
Okay. Really just fiddling with it for a bit.
Yeah. You can set it to various dates and examine what the skies looked like on that day. Positions of the moons, the stars, etc. It's good for tracking eclipses and things like that.
It's nice.
And since Eberron has 12 moons, there are plenty of lunar eclipses to keep track of.
It's very nice to look at.
Yeah. It's beautiful. You can just like fiddle around. You can move forward and backward in time. You can tell what kind of astronomical phenomena you might spot in the future or in the past.
No, they're so happy. And their masks off, so you can see that they're like smiling as they look at it. And I think like they'll just set it to random times and days, but they might like think of specific days.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first day they'll set it to is like the 18th. It does take them a bit of energy. Do I have to roll anything to see if I recall? Willa doesn't actually recall dates all that well. But I'm sure they're aware that on the 18th, I don't know. Just earlier they were like, I don't remember how many days it's been.
Yeah.
This might be helping anchor them though.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
Do what, sorry?
You can set it back to the 18th. So, 5 days ago.
Yeah. I think Willow's using it as a chance to like count the days. Like they don't know, oh, it's the 18th. They're going to be like, this is a chance to figure out what's happened.
Yeah.
I think probably the last day they probably remember is like, they're just working back through the month.
Yeah.
Prior to the auction.
Mm-hmm.
Varys's meeting with Ryga.
Yes. Yeah.
Prior to that, like Cat's departure. Prior to that, Sky, the elemental. It's just like a nice way to visualize and go back through their thoughts all the way until like En's birthday, maybe even Luca's birthday.
Aww. A lot has happened in a few short months.
And I think when they arrive back at like probably like the day that Luca arrived at the workshop, they'll sit with it and sit back and just kind of like look at it and listen to Regalport. Like actually pay attention to where they are.
Yeah. Bars are still lively for now. You hear a clock chime in the distance, 1/4 the hour. It's probably around let's say 11:15. A bit to go before midnight.
Yeah. I think Willow's
nice
just winding
listening.
down.
Yeah.
Just sit listening.
Nice listening
watch.
to the ambience of the city. You have chosen a place where you're, like, not particularly near anyone. So you can just be an observer on a roof.
Yeah. Mainly
Listen to
Willow
the
wants to see
atmosphere.
the sea and the sky.
Yeah. Easily done.
Yeah. Imagine taking a deep breath and just like sitting back with their stolen treasure and Regalport and just kind of recalibrating.
Yeah. Summer is on the breeze. Soon it will be getting quite warm. I think we can let the camera drift away from Willow on the rooftop and the Regalport night sky over to the hotel room in the Gold Dragon where Anna and Luca are.
Yes, is Sarah back?
I am.
Great.
Perfecto.
Yes, so we finished speaking with Damon and
Yes.
returned to our room, I think. As ideally, that's where Willow is going to return to.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided we're just gonna
If
wait
they
for them.
return. So,
Eh, have a little faith.
that's my whole deal.
I left their hat and gestures. They wouldn't
Yeah,
leave that
oh.
behind.
Hmm. Lucas starts walking around the room, I think.
Like pacing.
Yeah. Maybe tidying at first. Putting things like fixing things that don't really need fixing, but they could be a little straighter.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
bed could be a little neater.
Like anxious tidying.
Yeah. Stops at the end of Willow's bed. Should I make Willow's bed? No.
You just leave it
Looks
alone.
at it. Staring at it for a moment. Like, it's not military straight.
Of course, that's what you would think about.
Looks at Willow's boots. Should I relace them? They're incorrect.
I assume Willow took their boots.
Yeah. Also, most of Willow's boots don't have laces.
Oh, too fancy for that.
If they do, they're in their pockets. So
The laces are in their pocket.
no, the whole boot is in their pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and at first not going to interrupt Luca doing that, and then like sit down and start writing notes. But I think the bustle, and now Luca doesn't stop, because I imagine Luca just
No.
keeps going.
Keeps finding things to do or redo.
Yeah, and like the rustle of him moving around starts getting distracting.
I think it's also like Luca runs out of things to do in the main living space, goes to the bathroom and starts like arranging, the tiny
Soaps.
hotel soaps, like making sure everybody's toothbrush is in order, like wiping the smallest of like water flecks off the mirror, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just like
Is
looking.
there enough toilet paper? Is it correctly positioned?
Should I fold the end that's hanging over? Yes.
I think it's clean enough, Luca.
Hmm?
It's clean. You're good. You should take a break.
Right.
Had a long day. You don't want to run yourself into the ground. It's probably going to be a long day tomorrow, too. What with... What's Warfred meeting tomorrow for Willow?
Luca nods.
Might have to
Makes a face.
kick a dwarf's ass, So, save your energy.
I don't know if my legs are that strong.
Perfect time to test it out, then.
Hmm. And you'll finally meet someone who's about the same height as you. It's an even fight.
Finally. A fair fight. I won't have all the advantages of going for the shins. Speaking of advantages, why don't you come play some cards with me? I'll pass the time instead of end mixed gesture, whatever all of this is. Straighten the flowers, making sure the tiny soaps are in a row like ducklings.
Ducklings can't stay in a row. They're two. It looks at N like, what's the word?
So you're a duckling professional now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's something you never told me.
Duckling soup professional.
Anyway. And gonna like pull out the deck of cards that they have and start shuffling it.
Luca looks out the window. It's a bit late, don't you think? Too late to go out.
What, you thinking of Blood of all, Nereus, Islay, that whole deal.
Luca nods. Sitting up kind of straight and tense, like he could step out of the chair at any moment.
Hmm. Yeah, well, didn't you mention that your conversation with Torg, had you happened to mention that Nereus isn't around, or wouldn't be around?
Luca nods. He's been searching.
Yeah, since Vaelia escaped, I imagine he's been quite busy trying to track her down. So, I don't think we're going to be able to contribute very much running around the streets without any idea of where to look.
He might have
Minus-
already found Secret Islay.
Yeah, maybe so. Islay is one of his charges, so... Who knows? We can go visit maybe tomorrow, see if there's been any advancements in that regard. Maybe it'll be all solved by the time we get there. No reason to run yourself ragged in the meantime.
Said that 3 times now.
Well, it keeps being true.
I imagine Luca is sitting and like idly sliding one of the panels on his hand back and forth. Just to have something to like fiddle with.
En's gonna like deal him out a hand of cards then.
Yeah, good. Okay. Good.
Focus, unless you want to be a loser. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I hope so. There's a lot happening that isn't fine, so something being fine would be nice.
Yeah, you're telling me. But hey, if anyone is going to be able to track down anyone, it's going to be the... What is it? Oathbound Seeker Vampire and his charge. There must be some kind of procedure for that. I don't know, a little like vial of blood you submit.
You have no idea what you're talking about,
I
do
have
you?
absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. I know nothing about the blood of all. Other than like some really freaky rumors that tend to trickle around Sharn, but I didn't really pay attention to those. So yeah, I'm just talking out of my ass here.
Well, you're one of the good ones then.
I won't go that far. I was just distracted with other things.
Like, I assume you were committing crimes even as a wee child.
You gotta eat.
Look, it looks like he's going to say something, but he stops and then focuses on his cards.
Can I insight check that to try and like figure out what the vibe of that was? Or
Of course.
Yeah.
give
It is a game.
I'll give it a shot. No, absolutely
Nope.
not.
Never mind
No
then.
clue. I think En's just like, well, I'm trying to cheer him up. We're going on that trajectory. Seems all right. We'll continue this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'll
Well,
play cards.
Yeah. You want to do a contested roll to see who wins the round? Luca, roll your cards with charisma. Ooh.
What do I roll? I don't have cards on mine, so I forget what I roll. Just
You would
dexterity?
roll just like a... I think you would just roll a charisma check.
Ooh.
Oh, that could be tough.
Nope.
You lose badly.
That's fine. I think En's really chatty, so they're focusing
Yeah.
more on chatting Luca up and making sure Luca doesn't slide back into depressing thoughts, really. Just making
Yeah.
the game fun more than focusing on winning.
Yeah. It's not like there's any stakes here other than a good time.
Yeah.
And bragging rights. The most important victory prize.
Of course.
Yeah. Really more valuable than money.
Truly. You play cards. It gets late.
What's the non-gendered word for sibling?
Sibling is the
Sibling.
non-gendered word.
No, but no, like
That's kind of
Sib.
it.
yeah,
Sib.
because you have like bro and you have sis, but what's
Sib.
Buddy.
Sib.
Sib sounds awful.
What you got?
N.
Imagine Luca is saying this out loud.
He is
Oh, no.
Luca's actually
He
asking?
is asking. Yes.
Yeah, sibling's kind of it.
But that doesn't shorten down nicely to anything that you could call someone.
And you could call
Yeah, I
them
can see.
their name or a nickname of thereof, or just call them you stupid bitch, you nerd, you dumbass. Dumbass is a good one.
I don't think we could call Willow dumbass. Nerd.
No, that
Nerd's
would
probably
nerd's probably
what they
better.
were called. Yeah.
I don't know. I think calling Willow a dumbass would be pretty funny. Why are you asking?
You mentioned when you were speaking with Damon.
Right, brother.
Hmm.
Yep, I remember.
It's not something you or I can really understand, I don't think.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, I don't know. You had Ulrich, right? From what
Well,
I
I don't know.
remember, from what I felt from the memory, it kind of felt familial.
Well, still, I don't remember anything other than one moment.
Yeah, I guess that isn't really much basis for an entire relationship.
Hmm.
Yeah, Willow's in a tough spot.
Yeah.
Would you go
They're in
with
so
them
many tough spots. Where?
to Dallybrook?
They asked me to.
Might be dangerous.
Might be nothing.
Might be nothing.
Might be everything.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll be everything, regardless of what it is. At least to someone.
Would you?
If they asked, maybe even if they didn't. I didn't promise to go to Karnath to stop halfway.
Luca kind of grins like, yeah, me too. Like, I would follow them too, even if they didn't ask.
All in all, it
Yeah.
really just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, the idea that Willow might go back there by themselves, or... and lowers their voice, just with Damon.
No, that
Catastrophic.
Mm-mm. I would prefer you go with them if that were the case.
Well, thank you for the faith. I don't think I'd be much help, but, you know, another body
you're
to
a-
throw at the, moorland twisted creatures, a little bit of a snack while you run away. That
Or
counts for
the
something.
nothing. Or the nothing.
Then nothing.
You can just hold their hand.
Oh god, no, that's not gonna happen.
Maybe in a year's time you'll feel different.
Yeah, maybe I'll just get slapped away instead of hurled halfway across Corvair. I even dare to get that close to Willow.
You two are what's the phrase? Same fabric.
2 peas in a pod, cut from the same cloth.
Mm. You don't cut peas out of cloth.
I switched it up there to 2 different metaphors.
I like peas.
Well, that's great. Do you put that in with your duckling soup too?
Obviously.
Mm.
I think you'll be a comfort to Willow.
I don't know. I highly doubt I'm a comfort to anyone, but that doesn't stop me from trying.
You're very comforting today. Or the other one was.
Kai?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll let him know. I'm pretty sure that's a first. Add that to the skills section of his resume.
I don't know, because you need 2 people to say that he has that skill, and you've only got 1.
I don't know. I get the feeling Willow finds him a decent company.
Another P in the pod.
Pod's getting pretty big.
They can have a couple more. They can have 3 in them.
Pretty sure you can have more than 3 peas in a pod. Or I've been eating some
Yeah.
freaky peas. It's like 2 larger peas and then 18 really tiny peas just crammed into the bottom end. That's
Are those
me.
all your
Yes.
different little faces?
That's me.
So 18 is the number of people I haven't met yet.
Stick around. Maybe you'll get to 7.
Lucas starts like counting on his fingers. Or N, Audrey, Kai, Esper, Asta. 5. 5 so far.
Hey, look, you're almost there. Maybe you'll get there before Dallybrook.
Make a bingo card.
What happens when we get the bingo?
You can show me what you look like without a pretty face on.
No. Have you ever seen a changeling in their true form?
Lucas shakes his head. Not that I can remember.
All right, then.
I've seen pictures of drawings of them, but I don't know if that's accurate.
No, I'd have to see the pictures to tell you. But yeah.
Oh, they were awful.
They were mostly medical textbook
Yeah.
things that Seeker Elsa has.
Nah. So I was being dissected at the time.
Well,
Not incorrect.
it's like, what does eczema look like on a changeling? Because it's very different, because their skin is special.
Will you get wrinkles?
Yeah, we age. And at some point,
that-
it gets more and more difficult to hide them.
So if you start getting wrinkles, will Kai get wrinkles?
Now, I have a feeling Kai's gonna get wrinkles before I do, right here, and En's gonna point between their brows.
Luca makes a face like what he assumes Kai's face looks like. Scrunches his face in like a glare.
Yeah, something like that.
The hour
staying
grows
up.
late.
Until Willow comes back.
We'll see. I also have a day tomorrow. We all do. Be smart to get some sleep. I'll try to sleep. But I'm not the heaviest sleeper, so if Willow comes back, maybe I'll hear them.
You can be pretty heavy.
Oh, when I'm drunk. That's on
No, you
purpose.
Never noticed when I came and watched you sleep at the Poppy.
Somehow I doubt that.
Okay. I hope one of us is awake for them, but I imagine they'll understand. They're very understanding. Too understanding. It's frustrating.
Give them time. Sometimes it just takes one more day, right?
Who said that?
I don't know. Some seeker somewhere.
Sounds stupid.
Yeah, he's pretty stupid. But
How
sometimes he
dare
has
you.
nuggets of wisdom.
I like nuggets too. You made little nuggets. Have you made nuggets before?
Why don't you go to sleep so we can get up and get some breakfast for you because you sound really hungry.
I think I am. I think that's the sleep talking. They
Yeah.
say when Luke is like standing up. You know when they say you can get hungry when you're starting to get tired?
Indeed they can, so. And
Does that mean
gestures to
you're
the bed.
tired? You're always hungry.
And I'm always tired, so
Mm.
you've cracked the code.
The energy of keeping Kai down when he wants to go out and stab people.
Very
See
troublesome.
someone with their shirt buttoned wrong, and he's like, "Oh, better stab them so we can fix it."
Messy attire isn't gonna be what does it. I think the exact opposite is actually what encourages my wrath.
Luca looks down at himself, then up at N, and kind of quirks his brow.
Yeah, I think you're looking just a little bit too tidy there, Seeker, and ends like encroaching over their space between them.
Oh no! Lucas like pretend runs away.
Yeah, you better run. Get you in your sleep.
Oh no, are you gonna watch me when I sleep?
Who says I don't already?
Ah, that's fair. We do it each other. We'll take turns.
You better not, or you actually will legitimately run a risk of getting stabbed.
You sleep with a pillow knife, don't you?
Yes. You just noticed?
Well, I don't really go around looking under people's pillows.
Well, glad you're not the tooth fairy.
I think on
The two
that
of
we
you-
can finish.
Yeah, the two of you wind down for bed. It's a little bit sleepover energy of like you banter now and then until like you drift off, stop saying
Yep.
words.
Does
Yeah.
Peter have feelings? Shut up, Luca.
Do horses get songs stuck in their heads?
Yeah.
Yep.
Anne is trying to write in their journal to go to sleep, like exercise some thoughts so that they can actually sleep, but it's not really
Yeah.
working, I don't think.
Yeah.
Anne's really struggling to
you,
sleep.
you write as much as you can, and then you're like, okay, this isn't actually helping. I'm gonna close my book and like close my eyes and lie down, and maybe if I just lie still enough
Yeah.
for long enough,
I could trick my body into falling
Sort of.
asleep.
yeah, you do the breathing exercise, try to calm yourself down, but your brain is like just slowly rotisserie
Brr.
chicken spinning in the background of like
Yeah, thinking about Damon, thinking about the case, thinking about what they said to Luca about going to Dallybrook. Like, you're so stupid. Why did you say that? That's stupid. Why do you say so many things? You're stupid.
and you catch yourself calling yourself stupid, and you're like, okay, this is also not helping
Yeah,
me
like I've stopped
sleep.
thinking about, I've
And
stopped torturing myself over the case, but now I'm just like, you said stupid shit.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then you like go on a complete tangent of like whatever Luca was talking about earlier, and like you start thinking about peas.
And that's when I know I'm just doomed, so.
That's like, okay, even counting sheep at this point isn't going to
The
help.
sheep turn
You
into
look
peas.
up at like yeah, you look up at the clock, and it's like you've been sort of tossing for an hour.
Great.
So
And
maybe you just need to burn off the extra energy.
maybe. And sits up in their bed and Do you think that Willow left their hat on the nightstand? I kind of imagine that.
Yeah.
Probably, or on the end
Or
of
on
the
the bed or somewhere.
I don't think Willow went back to the room when you went to Damon, and they did not take their
Oh, no.
hat to Damon, so exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I think Anne's gonna slide out of bed and go over to the hat. Stare at it a moment. Pick it up and look at it. Just kind of look it over. Inside and out.
A little bit of fluff stuck to it.
Like willow fluff.
Yeah.
And is going to try and do a little hat trick with it. You know, a little like toss in the air, spin and toss in the air. Something they did before when they were younger.
Yeah. Slide a hand check.
Yeah.
You fumble the catch a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a long time since they've done that. So they catch it in a fumbled hand. And
To use my favorite rummy phrase, they beef it.
I used that once and now it's your favorite phrase. Yes.
That and shit rocked.
Yes.
These are the best rummy phrases.
I think since we didn't hit a 10, the hat kind of like bounces off their palm and back onto the bed.
Yeah.
They don't quite catch it. So they just kind of stare at it there. And their shoulders just slowly sink. They'll move it back to where it was found, kind of like they don't want it to be discovered that they disturbed it. And they'll leave it there. Head out of the room quietly, trying not to wake Luca. Something feels strangely familiar when they leave the room and go down the stairs and head out to the courtyard for some fresh evening air to try and help them burn off energy and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
They don't remember doing this before. But that
Yeah,
bench
you get
seems
a weird
familiar.
sense. You get a weird sense of deja vu, but like this isn't the first time you've had trouble sleeping and have gone out for like a midnight walk. It is
Yeah.
about midnight.
Yep. So they'll brush that off. They're just tired. Probably do like a lap around the
Yeah.
courtyard and maybe return to the bench and sit down.
Willow, when do you appear?
What time is it now?
About midnight.
Yeah, past midnight. I don't know
Yeah.
what time exactly. I know that probably after sitting there for a while, Willow will they'll get something out of their bag. Like I imagine they have like a supply of over the shoulder kind of slings just to sort of put the ball in so they're not holding it with both of their hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
And probably like make an effort this time to conceal to return back to Cognate
Mm-hmm.
before heading back.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess whatever time it is, and they might honestly be they might be playing with their sword again. Like the streets are empty, yeah,
Yeah.
no one around. So I
People-
think
Yeah. Very few people around. Like it's getting to the point where like people are heading home from bars. It's not quite last call, but it's getting to that point.
yeah, I feel like the street to the Gold Dragon is like pretty empty and quiet, and Willow's just like
for
dawdling.
sure.
Yeah, dawdling along, swishing their sword around as Cognate. Yeah.
Yeah.
They might have their hat back on again, honestly. The big one, the big brimmed one that they wear as Cognate, not the smaller one they've been wearing as Gil.
Mm-hmm.
Just dallying around, sort of hesitant to head back to the hotel, but they are going that way.
Yeah. You give me a perception check.
Fish Dog has pocketed again, so.
Yeah. And are you making an attempt to hide?
No, I don't think so. I think En's just staying in the courtyard, just walking around, pacing a bit, sometimes sitting, sometimes pacing, not really doing any efforts to hide. They don't think they have anything to hide from, especially back here.
Yeah. Yeah. Willow, you hear sort of shuffling footsteps of aimless wandering around the back of the gold dragon. It's easy to get from the front entrance to the courtyard.
I might as well go inspect that.
Ends there.
Willow sort of peeking around a corner with their sword out as Cognaut.
Should I make a
And a hat
perception
on.
check to see if I
Yeah.
notice
Yes.
that? I am lost in thought. I think En probably looks at two a bit, like kind of dazed. As they're walking around. Are the stars out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so En's probably looking up quite often. Just kind of pacing slowly. They seem very
What's-
lost in thought.
I imagine Willow actually spots you and then like returns back around the other side of the wall. I imagine them spotting you from.
Mhm.
Are there any people around? Is this a rather secluded place?
This is a very secluded place, and also, like, Anne is literally the only one here.
Okay.
It's late. Most people are asleep.
Hmm.
And if they're not asleep, they're definitely not outside.
Yeah. Well, I think Willow's going to sort of like stay behind the wall,
Mm-hmm.
remove their mask,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just them outside, and also float fish dog over to N out of their pocket.
Wow. I imagine Fish Dog floats in front of En's, like, line of sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does a little whir before it, like you can hear it approaching, so it doesn't startle you, but it's just
Yeah.
around like in front of N.
Yeah, I think En, like, flinches not because they're startled, but just, like, coming back from distant thoughts to, oh, Fish Dog is here.
Mm.
Blinks at Fish Dog, and then we'll start looking around for Willow.
Yeah. Willow's also going to put the satchel probably on a surface and then like drape something over it, like one of their jackets
Mm-hmm.
or their waistcoat or something,
Mm-hmm.
just to make it less conspicuous. They can pull the Syrian jacket out of their pocket and just plop it on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when N comes back around, Willow's just there, sort of pacing back and forth with their hand on their sword. Their swords sheathed again, but they are just pretending like they have been dawdling here.
Well, hello there, stranger.
Good evening.
How long have you been here?
Who knows? You?
Who knows? I think En was holding Fish Dog and kind of like lets it go to float back into a neutral space between them. Oh, get up to anything fun?
Just the usual.
No. Breaking into ships and sabotaging things and helping people.
Willow gives a nondescript shrug, like a nose wrinkle and a shrug of kinda, but like they don't elaborate on that. Just gonna peer over it now. What's your vibe?
What's when he's cutting off the things for me? Was that a perception check?
Insight. 17.
Insight. Let's see, I just wanna... It's persuasion. I'm just gonna roll generally, see what happens. Nope. Let's see. I think since you since you saw En lost in thought, En's just like their brain is in 100 different places and nowhere all at once. They're burning the midnight oil, and there's not a lot of oil left, but they really want that engine to run. They They seem wired and
Scatterbrained,
tired.
tired. Yeah.
Yeah. Willow knows this look. I think Willow's going to unsheath their sword, and it's like it makes a swing when it comes out, and does like a swish. And straightens up. Trouble sleeping?
Man, like, watches the sword and looks at Willow. Is that obvious?
Always.
Yeah, well, not my best kept secret.
I think Willow's gonna do a little. En's watching the sword, yeah?
Yeah.
Willow's like ensuring that they're following it before kind of doing like a little spin and pointing it directly at En.
And straightens up a bit.
Wanna fight about it?
This is how I die.
You decide.
Oh, let's see. And, like, pulls out one of their knives. Does a little
No.
spin and holds it out. Pretty
That's
sure you have an
unfair. Will it-
advantage.
It's okay. Well, it's going to think. Do you have any experience with a sword?
No.
Kinda
Maybe with a stick when I was a wee child. Playing at being a sword fighter, but real swords, real sword fighting, not so much. I tend to go with blades that are about as tall as I am.
Willow's like listening, but they're also looking around. Is there like a broom around, or do I have one in my pocket that I could just pull out?
God. Yeah, Willow would store cleaning supplies in their pockets.
Yeah, I think while En is talking, Willow
I
might
think
just be
also
in-
like there might be a like a garden rake or something like that, you know,
Mm.
in like
Okay.
a nearby shed or something that you could definitely like easily pick the padlock on the like gardener supplies and just grab some like brooms for sweeping leaves out of the courtyard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then while En is talking, I might just wander off and start picking that.
And we'll
Yeah.
follow.
Was it thieves' tools?
Yeah.
Let me get.
You're
Fish Dog's
having a little
advantage.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fish Dog shining a little torch on it. Willow says thank you,
Yeah.
and then like breaks open the shed door.
Yeah.
Not breaks, but you know, and then just starts rummaging around in there. Pulls out, I think, a rake and a broom, and then
Yeah.
immediately starts like unfixing the heads of them.
Oh god.
And just watching, like, bounces their brows at Willow breaking into the shed so easily.
Made no attempt to stop them, mind you.
No,
Just
absolutely
watch
not.
them commit a crime.
I would have helped them.
Only
If
borrowing.
Fish Dog wasn't there, I would have.
Willow's like measuring, I think now measuring it up. You know how an artist measures up a pencil against a reference?
Yeah.
Willow's like
Yeah.
measuring it up against N. It's a bit long for you. Willow's gonna snap it.
Don't.
Can I break it?
No. I want to say you don't have to on account of there are halfling-sized
Oh yeah!
gardening tools in here.
Willow,
was
like,
kinda
sets it up
about
to snap this on their knee and then looks into the shed and sees
Yeah.
halfling-sized tools.
Do I see the halfling-sized tools before or after I break it? I can mend it. One of my cantrips is mending. Like it's
Yes,
easy.
it is. I mean,
But
make a perception check and a strength check. Because I don't know if you can break. I don't know if you are actually strong enough to
No, I
snap
know.
a good quality broom over your knee.
I don't think I am either, and I don't know if I want Willow to injure themselves, but I think they will get far enough to raise it before they're like, wait,
Yeah.
you know?
The broom handle is
Maybe
like
not.
the same size as Willow, like horizontally speaking.
No. Okay, yes, well then Willow will go and get one of the halfling-sized ones, and then like measure it up against N and be like, that's better, and then hand N that one. They flip it over as if they're handing it via the handle, even though both sides of this are the same.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and accepts it.
Yeah.
So, theft and murder tonight.
It's not murder if you're in the principalities, and if it's a duel.
Right.
Well, I guess it is murder, but it's like
Legal murder.
it's funny. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Well, it's
funny
like-
like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Interesting moral conundrum, but that's not really our concern tonight. Tonight, we duel. Willow will again
On
flourish
guard.
towards N. Yeah, on
Yeah.
guard towards N.
You do have me at a disadvantage, and kind of like starts pacing a little bit, like casually. Like I said, I've never used a sword before, and only really have some experience with knives. I'm even new to magic, technically, so I really don't know if I stand a chance against a swashbuckler like you, and I'm gonna strike out at Willow.
What do we do? What do we do in this case?
What do I roll for a stick?
I think this would be straight dexterity. Willow, you would do dex plus proficiency. You can treat it like a short sword.
So just hit my short sword.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. Close.
Yeah. Just ignore the damage rolls, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
But neither of those hit our armor classes, so
Nope.
yeah,
You do a little.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nan's gonna
We
take
have
up
the
a
talking part down pat.
stance, like a best imitation that they can of what they've seen of a sword
Yeah.
stance.
They do have a little bit of aptitude for this.
Yeah, isn't shit
Just haven't
talking
had training.
half the battle? Well, it was back home anyway. I don't know how it is on the seas. You'd have to tell me.
More or less. Willow's going to try. No. I feel like was that last one a deflect, or was that like
It's a back and forth.
back and forth? I'm going to start the next one then.
Alright.
Whiff.
Also, another clack clack.
Hmm.
Oh,
You're very tense.
really? You're the one who can't seem to hit me. Didn't your little run around town loosen you up, Willow Jenkins? Or do I make you nervous?
Willow laughs, but we'll try to hit you. What?
That one gets a hit.
Yeah.
Take 1 point of damage, Anne, because I think that was like a slightly over enthusiastic swipe.
I think I bonked you on the head.
all right, there we go. That's more like it. I'll take a
Leave your
step.
Audrey voice out of this.
Dodge. I can imagine like and
dodge.
like stabbing forward and Willow
Yeah.
stepping out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep, and I'm going to try and counter that again. I bonk you on the head again.
I have other appendages, you know.
None of them are as fun as this one.
I
That's where all the
guess
noise comes from.
I am rather squawky, I suppose. That's part of my charm.
Is Kai any better at this?
Kai's never used a sword either.
Hmm.
But I'm not out of tricks yet. Can I I think N has like one hand behind their back in like a fencing stance, and they're gonna snap their fingers and use minor illusion to try and make a noise somewhere else in the courtyard to startle Willow.
Yeah, make a charisma check. And Willow contests insight. You notice the fidget of a spellcaster's hand behind their back trying to cast covertly, so you are able to flatten your ears before N makes a loud popping sound behind your head.
And that's dishonest. Willow's going to hit. Nope. Try.
Willow aims for N, and I think like N, you manage to step out of the way, and Willow overcompensates and like fumbles and drops the broom handle.
I'm gonna try and hit them in that meantime.
Roll with advantage.
Okay.
Specifically because
This is a bad
Willow.
one.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh my
There you go.
I'm gonna bop Willow on the
Bonked.
head.
Ow.
Take 1 point of damage.
Like I said, En's gonna do a little shrug, taking a few like shuffles backwards for some distance. You were so busy focusing on my spellcasting, you didn't notice.
Yeah.
Whack.
Willow whacks you in the side in this case. Like they
think
pick up
it's
the thing and then like
That's a bum smack, almost.
En's
Oh,
over
I
there,
imagine
too
on the
far away. And backed
Yeah,
away.
on the head.
imagine like Willow picks it up and then like in the same gesture as standing comes back with like a wide arc and just like right in either the waist or the hip.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, I bruise
prob-
easy.
Should have thought of that before you were so cheeky about it.
Should've had that before you handed me a stick.
Glad I didn't hand you a sword.
Swipe. Where do you
know
grab
what?
Willow?
I think I maybe whack their arm, the arm that they have the sword hand in.
Nice.
Can I use my shield?
You could, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my shield.
Okay.
Just for the
Then, as
glitz
you
of it.
try and whack Willow's arm, a sudden flash of electric blue magic comes up, and the broomstick bounces off it.
Now who's cheating?
Willow gives a shrug.
No one said we could use magic in this fight. I've been entirely honest, I'm appalled. I'm appalled by your behavior, Jenkins.
Miss. Hit.
I think I can imagine like Willow making a swipe and then hitting the arm again, like deflecting it.
Yeah.
Hey, I think I'm getting a hang of this.
You think that N, with maybe like a month or two of lessons, could actually become proficient with a short sword?
I think N tries to like spin the stick a bit, kind of like how they do with their knives, though obviously the weight is much, much different, but they try to do something fancy with it.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Nope.
You drop it.
No, I think
You
N
try
hits
and do the
himself in the
spin,
face
and then it just
Can I suggest not only drop it, you know when you overcompensate, so if you spin like something over the back of your hand and then you catch it but wrong and it flies like in a big arc, can it
Yeah.
go flying?
Yeah.
Because
There's a loud clatter as the stick goes flying.
and like stares at it for a moment. Then gives a shrug. What can I say? I'm a long distance fighter. That person over there is dead. Is anyone keeping count?
No, Willow's sort of taking that as a relent, and they'll like do their usual. Cognort does a usual spin with their sword to imply they're going to sheath the sword again. In this case, Willow just stops with it by their side. No, I think that'll suffice.
Yeah, what do you know? Hitting people with sticks feels as good as it did when I was a child.
Sorry, the sound went out. I didn't hear what you said. I just heard hitting people.
Hitting people with sticks feels as good as it did when I was a child. I think Anne's gonna go and fetch the discarded stick that they threw halfway across the courtyard.
I think Willow's going to like start fixing up what they ruined, like the putting the rake back on.
Yeah, you're a step above me. I just left the mess and ran. Then again,
What?
usually
Like-
I'm a tighter time frame than this.
Willow's going to look at En. Are you no longer talking about brooms?
I'm saying if I broke into something and stole something from it, I wouldn't take the time to fix it all up and put it all back. That kind of defeats the
But-
point.
These are friends. It's different.
I don't know, you could get a lot on the black market for a halfling-sized rake stick.
I guess.
It's a joke, Willow.
I know. Willow's giving that eyebrow raise of, I guess you are saying that. For some reason. Sounds like a business venture. Maybe tell High Prince Raga.
I think High Prince Rager probably has all the rakes he needs. Among other tools.
Gonna insight. Oh no, I didn't. I'm gonna look at and see if they. I don't know. Like the goal was to get them moving, basically.
Yeah. I think they
did.
seem a little looser now. Like,
Hmm.
yeah. They weren't lying when they said it felt good to hit people with sticks. Like, it did help get rid of some of that excess energy and tension a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of just like I feel like they're not subtle about the fact that they're just kind of like watching N for a bit while fixing up the shed, closing it again,
Mhm.
and like relocking it.
What, you worried
That's
about
it.
me?
Like rolls their eyes. You can't see their eyes, but you can still tell that they just rolled their eyes.
The way they tilt their head is like a
Mm.
eye roll.
Mm.
Well, you're in the same pit that I'm in. Doesn't take a genius to figure out that everything's not exactly nice right now. But a little break to swing some sticks around. Yeah, that helps.
It does. You
Good.
should make a habit of it. Probably.
I'll take you on again. Anytime, any place. We didn't keep score this time, so I don't know if I have to beat you harder next time or...
Or
I don't know. Maybe go easy on you. Since I'm such a quick study.
I think Willow's going to sit now, just like on a bench. I imagine there's a bench here,
Yeah.
sort of like looking up at the sky.
And peers up towards the sky. Then back to Willow.
Do you ever switch off with this routine of yours?
Which one?
Good point.
Exactly. and sits down.
Hmm.
It's not really the time to switch off. Even if I knew what that was, what that looked like.
Hmm.
You've got a job to do.
They'll fold their arms. I believe it was Bruno Saltbeard who once said, if you don't make time to maintain your vessel, it will make the time for you.
What, like sink?
More or less.
Yeah. Maybe.
In any case, this is the main form of maintenance I know.
Beating up each other with sticks and sharpened sticks.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, well, not exactly a stranger to that.
What does that mean?
En's no stranger to, like, physically letting off steam. In terms of, like, fighting.
To what end? Mim is asking. Like,
I'm not sure what else I can say on that front.
Yeah.
yeah, fair. Okay, never mind. No, Willow's just thinking
And-
to what
and-
end. I can't read your mind, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dueling
En
like
has-
this, fighting to let off steam, is just something En's familiar with. You've seen En fight
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. And can play fight.
Hmm.
And has play fought before to, like, loosen up as a form of exercise.
Hmm. How's Luca?
Asleep? He's...
Oh, he's not hunting presently.
No. I guess you weren't there when we went to the Blood of All Temple. Nereus is going to be out hunting Vegilia tonight, so it seemed kind of useless to go to the temple tonight. Can't talk to Nereus, and Nereus would be our best lead to Islay, and... yeah, so just hoping for the best for tomorrow.
Good.
Oh, I managed to donk him on the head hard enough that he passed out, and now we don't have to worry about it.
Even better.
Told you. I'm a pro at everything.
Willow gives En a side look that is kind of like the same look they gave them when they asked, "Do you ever switch off?"
But are you not fond of it? Because the problem is, I can be whatever you want me to be. And I feel like that's exactly what you don't want.
Willow's face went through a little journey, which was the initial eye roll, okay, the initial side glance, then the eye roll, and now just the little, like, of, yeah, they didn't have to say anything, you just said it.
Yeah, that's why N said that's the problem, I can be whatever you want to be, because, yeah.
Yeah. No, Willow was just in the way of being like, here we go. But then, like, yeah, no, exactly. That's it.
Well, for what it's worth, I'm not trying to be anything for you. I told you I've only been N for 5 years, give or take. Kinda still figuring out what that is.
Considers that there's a lot of things they can think of saying, but I think they'll just shrug, say, well, it's cute, so I'm not complaining. Just a bit concerning, considering everything that's going on, with you still performing all the while. But it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, not always. I don't know.
I hope it's fun to hit with a stick, at least.
It makes it easier.
At least I can be as a good target, I suppose. I'm a bitch ass, Willow. That's one thing I can be sure of that I am, and N is. I don't necessarily mean that in a derogatory way either. Just is what it is.
Is there a non-derogatory word? Pardon?
I don't know. Some people like a bitch ass on their side.
Sure, yes. I suppose so. Look, it's nothing. I'm not addressing your conduct. You act however you please. Obviously. I'll do the same. I'm just wary with everything going on.
You're worried that if I keep acting eventually, at some point, something's gotta give. Is that right?
Willow shrugs.
Well, back at you, buddy.
Willow like flatly looks in the other direction.
I heard once that you keep holding it inside too long, either something breaks or you stop feeling entirely. So I think between those options, the third option of sometimes being a bit of a bitch ass is perhaps the better conclusion to come to.
Well, I suppose I proved that tonight.
By being a bitch ass yourself?
A little bit.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, maybe.
You are definitely a bit of a bitch ass, Willow.
Wow, I'm so glad. Thank you, and for the fine assessment. I'm well aware that I am a... Willow doesn't want to say it.
Does Willow seem actually, like, upset about the name, or are they cool with it?
No, not upset. They just don't know how to use language the way that Anne does.
Colorful language.
Yeah, Willow's like a unsavory sort of presence, but I...
You're a pirate.
Was a pirate. Why? What do you mean?
Unsavory presence.
What?
pirate. I don't even know what kind of pirate you were. I understand they have like laws and out here and whatever. It just seems funny.
What pirates can't say unsavory?
I'm saying calling me unsavory when you are definitely also unsavory.
No, I'm saying I am unsavory. What? I was saying I
Ah,
am unsavory. Oh, I thought you were referring to my choice of words. My bad.
your choice of words is definitely more savory than mine.
No, yes, of course. That's what I mean. I'm not here to assess your conduct. It's just checking on you. Ugh.
Right. Yeah, I figured. You're
It's like
too
pulling teeth to say so, but
you're too sharp for me to be able to fly under your radar. I'm quite aware.
mm.
I know it's probably useless to say back at you, but that's why we're hitting each other with sticks. Instead of talking about our feelings. Because you start talking about your feelings, then. Oh boy.
Yeah.
But you can hit someone with a stick, and they can hit you back, and maybe that helps take the pressure off just long enough that you can get the job done.
It's
But-
nice to be speaking the same language as someone for once.
Yeah. Dare I speak the name? Didn't want to rain on our parade with the real bitch ass between us.
Is Willow actually laughing?
Yes. It's like a guilty kind of laugh. Like they're trying to hide it, but it sort of trickles through. Ugh. How was he?
Smug. He and like waves their hand like that's probably boiling it down a little too far and like probably a
Yeah, well-
bad response.
And
He
it says smug, and there is such a twitch in
Yeah.
Willow's face.
I regret to inform you that he did not break down crying, though I would have loved to see that. But he did take the note and seem immediately intending to try and translate it or whatever you wanted him to do. And kind of considers if they should be talking about that or if someone else should talk about that. Well, he seemed prepared to change his behavior to try and not piss you off so frequently. Or maybe piss you off is the wrong descriptor. I don't know. How would you describe it?
I wouldn't.
Of course. Distress the situation.
Not that one.
Stress the situation.
No, let's just stop talking. So he's okay.
He's translating the note and he seemed genuine. You know, as genuine as a guy like that can seem. About trying to correct his behavior. Or whatever. We don't have to stay at the Gold Dragon Inn under his coin if you don't want to.
Where are we gonna stay? The Crown?
Sovereigns, no. No one is going to the Crown. or I'll kill them myself.
Damn.
Sorry to break your heart if you were yearning for big soft beds and
My laundry basket.
housekeepers. Come and clean your... What do artificers make messes with? Like dragon
Everything.
shards? And,
Yeah, that one.
yeah. There are other gold dragons. The travel ban will lift
It's
soon.
fine.
We could always go back to our usual routine of coming over here every single day by the ferry.
It's fine. Definitely don't want to go back to salvage.
That's something waiting for you in salvage.
Oh, we're in the
Oh.
thick of mess.
You're more worried about being
You would
followed.
know.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Willow shakes their head. They've ended up back on work talk. This is supposed to be wind down.
Yeah, well, we do speak the same language, and I think that language is workaholic. Except someone here knows how to break the routine with sticks, whereas I just only know how to go, go, go until I set myself on fire and... well, then everything goes to shit. Or at least that's how it used to go.
You haven't been on fire yet.
Not yet, which really I should get an award for.
Truly. How far are we from the sea?
Quite a
And the sea is
ways.
occupied. Is there any empty space?
You are in a courtyard.
No, like empty, where Eldritch Blast would be available.
The sky.
The sky? People see
You
it.
can It's also loud.
Random magic blasts into the sky are allowed.
They are allowed, but I also meant the term noisy loud.
Oh, you said
It
loud.
is a loud sound. It's a
Yeah.
loud sound.
Got some
Is
crackles
what I said.
to it.
Hmm.
Actually, you know what? I think Anne like sees Willow contemplating things. Sees that like rolling the marble around in their head kind of thought. I have something that I can show you. Anne's gonna stand up, and it's kind of an echo of that time that Willow stood up and
Yeah.
was gonna show Anne like something cool when Anne was struggling with thoughts after they'd first remembered the Snapdragon.
Mhm.
Well, keep your eye on the prize, Willow Jenkins. And I think Anne is going to cast their Armor of Ignis.
Oh.
Describe how it looks when N casts it. They do the little wrist tap.
Yep, they do a little wrist tap, I think especially because Willow's looking. Maybe not, this is probably not what they usually do in combat. I think they just kind of like throw their arms out and catch fire in combat. But here, because they're making a show of it for Willow, they're going to do a little wrist tap and then like throw their arms down with like force as if they're like almost trying to jump up, but they don't actually jump. It's more of like the energy of pushing that out of your body, and they catch fire. And they exhale, and like little embers, purple embers come out, and they open their eyes, and their eyes are glowing.
N is wreathed in like bony armor of flame.
Whoa, Willow is I feel like visually you'd see like the light obviously just like sheens against their glasses. If you could see through their glasses, it's the same kind of sheen in their eyes. Like just massive power just right in front of them. Unexpected, like it startles them as well. I feel like they've reared up in their seat a bit.
You good? Did I scare you? And grinning.
Can I do an Arcana check? Or
Yeah.
an investigation check? Arcana?
Arcana check. It is a spell that they just cast.
What is it?
Cool. It's a similar principle in the way of your absorb elements, but instead of absorbing an element, it is a sort of coating of fire that when N is attacked, like it provides a little bit of sort of extra buffer between them and any blade, and also if N got hit, the fire would burn whoever hit them. It is both armor and attack in the same breath.
Where are N's hands?
Just kind of on their hips, I think. When they said, "Did I scare you?" they rested their hands on their hips. Gave a little grin.
Okay, then I think Willow's... So it's registered with my Arcana check as fire?
Yes.
So if Willow... Can I use absorb elements if I touch N?
You could. It's not that it's specifically if N takes damage, the fire will hit back.
I think regardless, just that thought process is in Willow's mind. They're going to, like, you see the armor glove form on their hand, and they are going to, like, cautiously reach towards N. Probably towards their shoulder. If their hand was up, they'd reach for their hand.
And watches Willow.
No. The fire doesn't hurt anybody that isn't, like, actively hurting you, so...
Willow's going to, like, place their hand on N's upper arm, and when they realize it's not burning them or anything. Right?
Yeah.
I think they might, very swiftly pull their crossbow out of their pocket and point it directly at N and say, "May I?"
What? Kill me?
Not intentionally.
That's not really very encouraging, Willow.
Test it, is what I mean.
I've already tested it on a horde of zombies.
Oh. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, Willow. I guess Willow will... They're still looking like one little more insistent look like... Wouldn't it be cool?
Also, I'm pretty sure that the fire doesn't reach as far as a crossbow bolt. You have to smack me.
Oh. Willow spins the crossbow back into their pocket, pulls out their sword. "May I?"
At least use the stick so I can catch it on fire and
I'm
actually
kidding,
stand
I'm
a
kidding.
chance. If I really wanted to fuck up that duel, I could have launched this at you then, but I know
Willow's gonna
restraint
flick-
now.
Willow's gonna flick N on the nose.
Ugh.
Does that do anything?
No, it's only damage. I don't think a flick on the nose is enough to cause 1 hit point of damage.
Uh,
Ugh.
It would be more like if you actually tried to slap N, it would react.
no.
You have to roll an attack to get hit.
Well, now I know, and like rubs their, like adjusts their nose a little bit. Now I know not to use it in friendly combat. Of what? Tussling on the floor.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
And you stole my style.
I like to consider it more of wholesale theft. Just looked in the window of your shop, I broke the glass, and I said, "I like this." I took it and I ran away.
Willow's like tilting their head this way and that to just like observe it.
Yeah,
Observe
and
N.
N's moving around as they're talking. They're gesticulating as they're talking, so...
Yeah. And like when N says that, Willow makes the gesture like they're raising a glass and says, "I can respect that."
No.
With their freaking globe in the background.
I'm sure you can. Yeah, I haven't had a big fiery explosion since I figured out how to sculpt it into this. And like hops around a bit and shakes their arms out. Feels good.
It's a smart solution.
Oh, that means a lot coming from you.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like Willow's got the vibes of looking under the hood of a car, like they're also kneeling and occasionally like looking at the back of it. We're just circling each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe next time I use it in combat, it won't be in a cloud of smog. Which I'm sure wasn't very much fun for your little nose. I think Anne's gonna try and flick Willow now. In the nose.
I guess if I didn't have to do it, then like if I didn't have to roll for it, you don't have to roll for it.
Yeah.
Free shot.
So just flicks in the nose. No. I'll permit myself a moment to be hopeful this evening. I hope you don't have to use it at all.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be the dream? Are you coming to the memorial?
Is Anne still got their armor up?
I think it's starting to like flicker away now.
Yeah, I imagined it fading when they asked that.
Yeah.
And Willow will just it's a very definite nod.
And nods as well. Yeah, Luca asked about it, so wondering if the whole gang is gonna be there, if it was just gonna be me. I know shit's been rough, so don't exactly want to pencil something into anyone's schedule when they might have, I don't know, other appointments.
For as far as I can foresee.
And
I'll be
nods
there.
again. Not that I could convince you one way or the other. I'm sure you do whatever you want, but you're welcome to come. And like looking down a bit, I think it's pretty obvious what they're thinking about. They're kind of fiddling with their own hands. You know how you kind of like pick at an edge of your nail
Yeah.
when you want
I think
something to do.
Willow's going to say I met her as well.
Briefly. I don't think you even exchanged a word with her. Maybe one. Oh, that's not the point. I'm just... And rubs at their face.
No, it's we'll be there for you, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So, in much the same way you invited me to this, all confident that I would find a way there regardless, you can extend that confidence to other things as well.
I know. And smirks at Willow a
Do
bit.
you?
I know.
Good.
I just also know you're dealing with a lot of shit. And I'm not the only one that... what's a good word for it? Deserves to have someone standing next to them while they attend a memorial. Honestly, it isn't even about deserves. You don't have a choice. Pretty sure that's what a team is.
Willow gave a look like, oh, and just read my mind with the it's not about deserves, but the you don't have a choice makes Willow give you a sideways eyebrow raise. Pardon?
And just like smirking at you.
Yeah, Willow knows that. Okay, Willow gets it. Don't worry about it. They're not going to push.
And if you need help figuring out Damon's language, well, I think I've got something of a grasp on it. If you ever want to question a white-haired asshole that isn't
Let's
going
not-
to.
We were having a nice moment. Let's not get into it.
All right. Yes, the bad word.
No, I'll speak to him when I have my thoughts in order. But for now, I'm speaking to you.
Yeah, the white-haired hassle you like.
Apparently, I think Willow's going to like donk N in the forehead again, and then sort of make a gesture like they're going to go inside, and N should follow.
Yep, and we'll follow.
Willow, do you pick up your parcel?
Of course.
Willow has something bundled under their coat, Anne.
And regards it openly.
Willow ignores your look, but has a little bit of a. I think if you saw their face, they have a little bit of a smirk about them.
I'm gonna. Can I like perception or insight to see if I can't figure out more?
Perception to figure out what the object might be. Insight to figure out what Willow's on.
I guess I'll go with the perception.
Looks like some sort of large object. Spherical?
I'm going to gather by the way that it is hidden that it's perhaps not a item acquired above board.
Oh,
Especially
for
with
sure
that
not.
grin on Willow's face. I think En's just gonna say, "You're gonna have to tell me a story sometime, Willow Jenkins. Someday."
Willow gives a stupid little shrug, puts their cognaut mask back on.
And just following behind Willow with their hands in their pockets.
Actually, they won't put their cognaut mask back on. They're just going to do their stupid little
Shrug.
shrug and walk down.
Alright. We cut there on the two of you heading inside. You had bed? Had to sleep. Luca stirs in his sleep. His brows furrowed. He tosses and turns a little bit. Camera shifts. Smoke in the air. Blood in your mouth. Fire on the battlefield. Everything is wrong. You need to retreat before the rout becomes a massacre. Thunder rumbles from a cloudless sky. And again. Boom. 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 You look up and the sun twinkles a terrible, blinding blue A voice rips through your mind. Run! Luca, run! The screams of dying horses shock you awake, and you nearly want to vomit from the smell of their burning hides. You are shaking and sweating, and you can feel your heart pounding in your chest. It's morning. You look around. You're in bed in the Gold Dragon. Willow and Anne are both still asleep. It's just barely dawn. You're used to having night terrors that startle you awake, but it's been a while since one got to you that badly. What do you do?
I need air. I go to the window, open the window. Just stick my head out, basically.
Yeah.
Fresh air.
Yeah. You stick your head out. You can hear the twitter of birds. The early summer morning air. You breathe and breathe. Your heart slows back down to normal. The fresh air helps. Make an intelligence check.
Mm.
The images are already faded.
Mm.
Just another nightmare. Give me a perception check. Another note has been slipped under the door.
Fish dog's probably
Luca,
looking at you. Sorry, as an aside. If
how
not
does it
floating
look?
near
It
you.
has no eyes.
It faces you. If it's still perched on the table, it's probably just watching. Like it's facing, and then it will like
Yeah.
spin as you move across the room, like the way a security camera does.
Mm. Oh shit. Luca makes a face at the letter, like, how dare you interrupt me trying to remember what I just thought. Is Willow in bed?
Yep.
Okay.
Willow and Anne are both still asleep.
Sleeping.
Sleepy. Okay. I will go and check the letter, rub my face. I feel tired and heavy. And have I had that dream before? Or do I not remember enough to know?
I don't think you remember enough, but you think it was different from your usual ones. Because you're kind of used to those ones.
Even more reason to give the note an angry face, like I'm blaming it for me not being able to remember.
Do you pick it up?
Yes.
Okay. I will show it to you.
Oh.
You unfold the note.
Oh.
Would you like to read it out loud?
Oh. Crack the code for you, David. Your mission is to retrieve the serial.
You're saying Luca's voice.
Yeah, and then Luca like rubs his eyes like, are you kidding me? Can't even read. Your mission is to retrieve the ceremonial objects of Kabalrin that were stolen from Zendrick. You will deliver them to the appointed place. Use the tools we provided, and the petty rivalry of the pirates to your advantage. If Kolberkin believes our work aids him, let him believe so. Reputation matters not in the face of everlasting glory in the kingdom of death. Success? And you have brought us closer to liberating the Queen of Death. Your rewards will be as eternal as her reign. We need not tell you what the consequences of failure are. Bring glory to the Emerald Claw. Translator note: Kabalrin are a pre-Aeronal culture of elves who developed early necromancy during the Age of Giants, approximately 40,000 years ago.
Oh my god. He cracked it in a night. I'm not even awake. I can't even react to this right now. It's like,
Yeah, Luca. Oh, yeah. I suppose that was just like reading a letter to him because he speaks the language ish.
it was cipher. It was encrypted.
Yeah.
He said it was a
he
week's
broke
worth
the
of work.
Yeah, he broke the
broke the
encryption.
Cipher, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. I was sitting here, I was clutching my face back here, like, what?
Motherfucker.
He's like, oh, it'll take me a day, might take me a week to crack the code. It seems difficult. Just kidding. Did it in the evening. Haha, don't hate me. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, he stayed up
You
all
gotta
night
wait.
doing this for us.
Mhm.
I will.
Sorry, just a genius.
No, I refuse to believe that. I will order breakfast to
Okay.
to arrive at a little while later, and I will let Anne and Willow sleep a little more, and I will sit at the table and admire the flowers. They're starting to turn a little bit at the edges of the petals. Colors are a little more brown there. That's okay. And I will put the note on the table, like in the middle of the table, fold it back up. And I will pull out my journal and I will try to brute force remember what I dreamt of.
Oh.
Make another intelligence check.
Oh, can fish still
Nah.
give you advantage? I know, like, I don't
No,
know
No.
how.
it doesn't
No.
work.
I'm just
No.
like, how to.
You remember,
sucks.
like, you remember battlefield horses dying by being burnt.
But that's nothing new. That's so painfully and
It's
frustratingly
vague.
familiar.
Yeah.
Even if it is nothing and vague, I can imagine what it was because I've dreamt it a million times before. So Luca
Yeah.
just sits there looking at a paper with a pen in his hand, trying to find something to write. He just doesn't. Pick up the note again and read it. Do I recognize anything else? I know. Which one was Kolberkin? Do I remember?
Make a history check.
I believe I have told you before, but fuck.
You, you don't know.
Oh,
Probably
no.
a pirate, maybe. Willow will know, and will know.
Willow will know. Great, now I know I'm fine. These aren't my strengths, it's fine. Let's talk about this Damon motherfucker right now.
Alright.
Yes.
So the other two wake up, I guess.
Yes. The other two wake up.
Luca
Luca
is
has-
sitting at the table.
Yes. Luca got the room service. So
And awakes to the smell of food and is very happy
Literally.
about
Hello?
it.
Ugh. Mm.
You're up early.
Mm.
Everything
Hmm.
all right? Everything's not all right. Willow!
Imagine Willow did that, like, woke up, saw they've kept the satchel with the globe in it beside their bed, and they, like, look at it in that way of, like, it gives them a little, like, snuggle back into bed with, like, a happy face, but then, like, yeah, being woken up.
Wait, can I like inspect that satchel? Am I able to see?
You can see it, but, like,
do you
it's
touch
in
it?
with their stuff on the side of the bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
noticeably new, right? Because it's like a
Yes.
big thing.
Yeah, it's on the floor that, like, you know, Willow sleeps between the window and the wall. Sorry, the wall and the bed. It's between the wall
Yeah.
and the bed, like where a bedside table would be. So you'd have to sort of be
Yeah.
looming nearby, or you could have noticed
You
it before,
probably,
but you were too busy.
you've probably noticed it, but like it's in with Willow's stuff, so it's like Willow brought something home. It's wrapped in their coat. You don't know
Yeah.
what it is. They will tell you about it, probably, maybe,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I didn't hear you guys come back in last night.
Well, we're here. Oh,
Were
that's
you
good.
causing mischief?
Glad we didn't wake you up.
Yes.
Oh,
Might have been
absolutely.
better if you did.
We're always causing mischief, Luca. Every time you look
Mm.
away, we're breaking into something.
I knew
just
it.
woke up. Willow's like trying to be like, what did Luca just say? Wish you did. My eyes are sore.
I'll go over and close the window, like the curtains, but I'll leave the actual
Yeah.
window open.
Leave it open.
Well, seriously,
Willow
what's
will
up?
reopen it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
What's up? What's up? What? Oh, we got a note. I got
Ah.
breakfast.
From our friendly neighbor, bitch ass?
Luca makes a face.
I think Anne kind of glances at Willow when they said that.
Yeah, Willow laughs towards N like they've just shared an inside joke. Because they have.
Damon?
Is that his name?
Also known as.
I know. He's pretty forgettable. What'd the note say?
He cracked the code note.
What? Willow wakes up suddenly, their ears are up.
Yeah. Anne's like brow furrows and they start like counting on their fingers the hours between when they left Damon's room and now.
Willow, like big looming hand, like, you know, a baseball pitch almost pulled back, snatches the note up and reads it.
Are we sure this is accurate? I mean, it was encoded, wasn't it? Anne's like trying to read past Willow's arms.
Willow's
Look at-
pacing the room pretty aggressively. Will, like,
Anne's
hunched over
following.
it.
Anne's like fish dogging around, like trying to read past the. Like,
Fish
you know how
dog is
fish
also
dog
fish dogging
floats,
around.
floats by Willow's shoulder and is on the other shoulder, like trying to read.
Is it a big deal? Wasn't it just translation?
It was
It was an
encoded.
encryption.
Luca, do you know what that means?
Do I know what that means, God? I assume so,
Will
but
will explain. It means that it was in a code. It means that you needed a key to break the code, and Damon somehow found the key.
You would estimate it's been maybe 12 hours, 13 hours-ish since you
If you
handed
didn't
Damon the
sleep.
code. Yeah.
maybe he wrote the note, so he already knew the key.
Willow's going to quickly. His room's just across the hallway, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, just a quick. Willow's going to quickly walk out of the room
Mhm.
and press their ear against the door, gently, quietly.
Mm-hmm.
Is he awake?
Let me do my perception check. Can I have advantage? No. I needed to
No.
do. Sorry, I was thinking, should I go wild hunt for this? But I'm like, no, I have a big day.
Yeah.
I'll just perception. God, I feel like Willow might wild hunt for this though, but out of habit. But it's okay. We'll try perception.
Nope.
Silent.
Can I follow and also do it? Just for funsies?
And would have followed Willow quietly.
Yeah.
We're all pressing our ear to the door.
I think somebody in the hallway, like, who is just going down to breakfast, sees all three of you leaned up against the door.
Oh, Luca.
Look at your big boy ears.
Yeah, I've been awake a while.
I
My
think-
ears are awake.
Willow's
Very
like
quiet.
Willow. Oh, yeah.
Probably
Imagine the-
asleep.
Yeah.
The guilty look of someone down the hallway. Willow like backs away from the door with their hands behind their back, like I'm not doing anything, and then like looks at the ceiling.
But then when they look
While
up, they
Luca-
notice that Luca is there.
No, like that's what I mean. You guys are busy against the door, and I'm just standing here trying to pretend to make us look innocent.
It doesn't work, but it's also like, that's not my business, so okay. It's just a normal weird encounter in a hotel corridor.
Who among us hasn't listened into other people's hotel rooms? I
Absolutely
have.
not. Stop it.
Luca
Right.
ushers Willow and N back into the bedroom.
All right, so assuming this code is cracked correctly, and assuming Damon isn't in cahoots with Baelia, because that would certainly throw a spanner in the works, what does this tell us?
It does confirm suspicions that you had.
Yeah,
Mm.
whole dire shark thing is just...
Tony?
Well, it has nothing to do with the larger picture, but hey, if there's infighting between the principalities, that seems convenient when you want to stomp them under your heel into an early grave.
Luca points at the note. Do you think the tools were the bodies?
The spell scrolls could also be tools. But yeah, sure, the bodies.
Trying to rack my brain for if anything we missed. Because we might just not have all the details yet, too. That have.
Yeah. It's definitely in line with what Dragovich said.
Mm.
Il Marrow.
Queen of Death. Not found particularly inviting.
No, he didn't really sell her very well.
Not a very good subordinate then.
Mm. Evidently.
I think Willow's thoughts have wandered away from the case because there are like. They have all the pieces that they can have at this moment in time.
Mm.
But like something about Luca has drawn them back to looking at him.
He looks a bit tired. Yeah. Something
No,
wrong?
his words, but then his face too. Can I do another insight check on him?
Can I? That
Sure.
Were you looking at me? What's up?
Yeah.
Something on my face? Oh.
Luca had a nightmare and has been awake since that.
Did you have a bad dream?
I look at you, and then I look at N, and I'm like, oh, what? You're suddenly able to read minds now?
Did Luca say that out loud?
Yes.
Well, it takes like a deep breath.
I did. Doesn't matter. Happens a lot.
Was it
Gives him a smile.
different from the ones you usually have?
Who knows? Don't remember. It's fine.
Well, if you do remember, you can talk to us about it. I'm no stranger to bad dreams, Luca, you know this.
Hmm.
It's kind of my shtick. What was I called? A dream speaker, so... You squint,
You don't-
you speak to dreams to me.
Yeah.
You don't know whether it was recurring or new? Will is sort of picked up from N's comment that Luca has nightmares.
Yeah.
Like usual nightmares. But Will is like poking on that fact.
Is it? I think it felt new. I don't know. Can't remember.
Did anything
Fine.
happen yesterday or recently? And then N like kind of stops and like furrows a brow.
Mm. And I think when
And
Willow
looks at
asked too, they
Willow.
sort of they're sat at the edge of their bed with their hand on their mouth, like they are thinking of whether to say something.
What is it? Do you know what I don't?
Oh,
Willow pauses for a bit, but then shakes their head. No, it's just
what is it?
Willow looks a bit urgently at the door, like it's unclear why they're getting fidgety, but it no, I don't want to. It's nothing. I'm making this worse by not answering you clearly.
Don't know. What is it?
There's a lot of
No,
stuff
no, sorry.
going on.
No.
Between Islay and the Emerald Claw. I can imagine that might poke something.
I look at Willow like, is that what you're thinking?
Willow nods. It takes them a bit to nod, like to sort of pass that. Yeah, that is kind of what they're getting at.
Why do you seem so concerned?
Okay, Willow's racking their mind to try and think of how to say this. Or whether to say this.
Could always make something up. You're good at that, right?
They really aren't.
Well, N is ready to
Is the
speak if,
joke.
if Willow doesn't,
I
but they're
think
not.
Willow's thinking. Okay, Willow's just trying to put their words together. I think after a pause, especially if everyone like waits for them to think about it, they'll sit a little further forward on their bed, like they are trying to insist towards Luca. Nothing specific, but I've had concerns, I suppose, that the nature of the factions that we are dealing with in this investigation may be poking at nerves that you've otherwise forgotten. And I suppose I'm just cautious
And nods.
about new dreams where there weren't any before, considering everything currently happening.
Take it from me, you never know when something that might otherwise seem benign to everyone around you is actually going to act as a trigger, and then like flicks the corner of their head with a finger. Knock something loose, knock everything loose. And well, we are dealing with some Karnath adjacent things. Just keep us posted, keep an eye on it. And remember, you have tools, and gestures to wristband that Willow made them? Made him?
Yeah. Yeah. Fine, sir.
Luca. We're a team. And that means that if you're struggling, let us know. So, maybe you're fine right now, but just keep an eye on it.
Luca nods.
Shit isn't gonna go away. Probably.
I think it's clear that Willow's still wrestling with her thoughts.
Hmm. Oh, can I tell? Do I have to figure
I don't
that
know.
out?
Do you have to roll for that? I don't know.
I think Willow has their thinking face on.
Hmm.
I will look at Willow like, is that everything?
I assume our plans today include a search for Secret Islay or otherwise checking with Seeker Nereus.
Planned on going at dusk.
Yeah, we kind of touched on it yesterday. Since Nereus was hunting last night, he might not be hunting tonight. We might be able to catch him. Discuss what our options are in terms of lending a hand.
And the search for Vaelia continues.
Well, as far as I know, she hasn't been found. Wanted posters have gone up. Local vampires searching, but nothing's busted down our door, flailing a newspaper around saying Vaelia captured, so...
And Luca intends to pursue these. Yes?
Is that a problem?
No. I suppose all I would suggest is wariness.
Just like me hunting the snapdragons, there's always the possibility that, like I said, something's gonna get knocked loose. So, let's just try to stick together, just in case. We're stronger together.
Willow nods. That is a suitable conclusion.
Is that the conclusion they were wanting to come to? They
It
seem like
seems that it
might be.
solves. They have a different angle. I don't know if Luca can see this, but I'm explaining to you guys that like Willow has a different way that they arrived at this conclusion, but this might be the best course of action for now. If I may explain it briefly,
Yeah.
in meta,
Yeah.
Willow's thinking of the fact that if the prophecy is to be trusted, Luca has for certain someone in his past that is related to the Emerald Claw. And that if Luca's past is tied together with this person, then it's highly possible that Luca's own past is tied together with the Emerald Claw. And that thus being exposed to the Emerald Claw will bring out something in him that is hard to deal with. But at the same time, Willow is thinking, why would I prepare you for that in that way when it doesn't really feel like preparation? It kind of just feels like fear mongering. Like they're trying to get their head around the idea of whether it's good to tell you a hunch that is unsubstantiated at present.
Yeah,
When they have
it's
given you
also
tools.
like at best it's like something bad might happen. And
Yeah,
it's like,
and it's like,
cool.
what am I meant to feel
Yes,
about
we
that?
know that.
Yeah. But it's just Willow's got brain going something bad's gonna happen, something bad's gonna happen, actually like just that kind of,
Yeah.
But they gave you a tool to deal with it and talked about it, and N has raised the best point, which is we'll stick together.
Yeah. I think
So that
N's,
when
like,
if it happens, nothing's
this
gonna
is the
stop you.
soup of Willow's thoughts. It's just like,
Yeah.
I think this is the best conclusion we can come to. Is like, I'm paranoid, you're paranoid, great, let's just stick together, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if N
It's
doesn't
one
have
of
all
those
the
things
pieces.
where it's like, it's one of those things where it's like panicking about you can't plan for something unexpected.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than being like planning
Yeah.
to be flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. And Willow has kind of planned for this, just not this specifically, by making you
Yeah.
your anchor. And
Exactly.
we'll fill in the blanks by being there with you, but nothing is going to stop us from pursuing this. So we just have to be there for each other. And basically summed it up. And so Willow's like, okay, that is just as much for them as it is for Luca. Useful to hear.
Yeah, it was useful.
Stop talking! You and Damon both need to go to
Therapy.
person school.
En's
Don't
doing
talk to me.
alright.
Don't look at me.
En's doing alright.
Willow, literally currently dressed as a robot. Oh, go to person school, huh?
Oh yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Sure.
I think Luca is going to try to swerve the topic by gesturing to breakfast and be like, let's eat.
Yeah.
Fish Dog's going to go fly over to Luca and sort of, I don't know, just like nestle with him.
I think Luca will ask if you went shopping last night.
No. All the shops are closed. Oh. Is he referring to the bag?
Yeah, you've got a new
Yeah, Willow
thing
does that out loud.
in your pile.
No, all the shops were closed. Oh. Yes.
And then we kicked each other's ass because I was so pissed off at Willow for going shopping without me.
But all the shops were closed.
Were they?
Willow, make a persuasion check. Luca, make an insight check.
Willow's literally laughing down to their side, like there's a big grin.
Luca, insight check with advantage.
Oh damn.
Is a natural 24.
Oh my gosh.
Never
Good
mind.
Oh man.
Willow went and stole something and had a good time doing it.
I'm glad you enjoyed shopping. I hope you bought something nice.
En's like
So
eating
check
their
Luca.
food with like a barely contained smile because like they can tell from Luca's tone that
Luca fully clicked.
yeah, Luca knows and
Yeah.
he's trying so hard.
What's his facial expression like? I only got a 7 on insight, but what's his face like?
There's
Just
definitely
imagine,
a flicker of like light bulb flashing on, and then Luca quickly schools himself.
and he's like, brows are pursed a little bit, and he has a bit of a toothy smile. Yeah. What did you buy?
Oh, I didn't buy it. I stole it from an orphanage.
An orphanage?
Just watching Luca's face. Is he horrified?
Yes, because he
Attached to the
can't tell if
hospital.
you're joking.
Did you
What?
burn
No,
it down when you were done too?
Oh, please, I'm not you.
Ah, yeah. I guess that's why I couldn't come along. Orphans hate them. They are the worst. All of them. Awful. Worst people I've ever met in my life.
Luca looks distraught.
You know there's a joke in here somewhere, but also like this is very concerning.
Yeah. They have so little.
You're like you know your friends are joking about it probably being stolen from an orphanage, but you also are like, don't steal from orphans.
Yeah. That's not funny. That's
Uh,
sad.
you see, the joke here, Luca, is I am an orphan, so I can make fun of them.
Oh, you just made it so very unfunny, and hey,
I think it's funny.
I might be an orphan too.
I think Anne burst out in surprised laughter at that.
I was
Oh,
like covering their face of like, uh-oh, what the hell?
I think as far as buzzkills go, you won that award, Willow. And it's gonna like give you extra bread from their plate for that.
I just imagine us both pausing and looking at Luca, and then also bursting into laughter because we don't know if he's an orphan. But like the silent click into place
Yeah.
of like, wait a minute, oh my
We're
god.
all orphans here. If you're an orphan and I'm an orphan and you're an orphan, who's driving the boat?
Oh my god.
I think you will just
God.
Anne and Willow
Goodness.
dissolve into laughter of like we have fully stepped in it.
We are fucked up. This is FUBAR. No, we're just laughing. It's like we made it so unfunny, and by making it unfunny, we have entered this weird gallows
circled
humor
around
space
back
of just
into funny.
yeah.
God, I literally imagine like looking at Luca is the only thing that saved Willow from spiraling just then. Willow's like, I have never made a joke about that in my life, and then looks at Luca and like, wait, your parents might be dead soon, love. Just like the awfulness of the situation. Man,
Yeah.
this is one of the most transformative Willow moments in the entire series thus far. What?
My
Look,
My
gallows
evil-
humor.
deaf cult parents might be dead.
Willow's laughter fades a bit.
Finish your food, Luca. We have
Yeah,
another
let's
death
eat,
cult to deal with.
actually.
Mine.
Yeah, probably Wilfred at this stage.
Eh, if not yet, he's well on his way.
Yeah,
Did
you
we
actually
pushed him
steal-
along.
From an orphanage?
No, I didn't steal from an orphanage.
There are none in Regalport. I don't have to. What did.
If there were, I wouldn't steal from. Zeke, is there an orphanage in Regalport?
There's probably an orphanage in Regalport.
Yeah.
Aw.
There is, I just didn't steal from them.
As the resident confirmed orphan, I can confirm they don't have much to steal, no. So it would not be very fortuitous to attempt it. You can find better marks. Take it from the orphan. Who has?
Willow,
No,
you just want.
we can't.
Willow,
They
you
have
just
all
want
show
to.
them. I will show them. I will just show them. Willow's going to
Yeah.
leave and pick it up and bring it back to the table and just whip the coat off and show you guys.
It is a
Oh.
beautiful astronomical globe of glass with etched gold and gilding. Definitely not anything that didn't come from somebody who could afford to lose it.
Oh.
Sovereign
What is it?
6. Wow.
Pretty
It's
globe.
super beautiful.
And it's like grinning and looking it over. Maybe pokes at one of the dials.
Is it one of those ones that has like the moons around it?
It has moons in it, rather. It's
Ooh.
a globe of the heavens where it's like layers of glass spheres that you can sort of rotate around to create certain like constellations and positions of moons and stuff.
Ooh. Luca probably starts rolling it.
I think En's like eyes get glittery, kind of in the way that when like they saw Willow's tattoos and stuff, or just some really
Aw.
nice craftsmanship. They just kind of watched Luca play with it with their cheeks in their fists.
Aww. Willow's looking fondly at you both. Arr.
Enamored by it. Oh, I can see why you stole it. It's priceless.
Enjoy it while it lasts. I'll be taking it with me.
Oh, it's a Warfred?
Warfred?
Willow shrugs.
Oh, you're going to give it to him? Oh, it's a waste.
It is one of my contingencies. Let's put it that way.
All right. And on that note, I think En's gonna like flip open their book and do a rough sketch of the thing.
Oh, okay. And Willow's going to putter around while you do that.
Luca's just playing with it.
Yeah.
Willow
Probably
can
also
help you
Willow.
set it to like his
Yeah,
birthday.
I was literally going to ask, can you set it
Yeah.
to the day I was born?
No, yeah, Willow's going to do that. Willow would set it literally not just to your birthday, to your actual day you were born.
The day you were
Gives a nice
born.
insight.
You can
into-
look at your star chart.
Yeah. Luca's
Yeah,
an
Willow
astrology
just-
bitch.
He would be. And he's a Pisces, isn't he?
Eh.
Even worse, he's Mark of the Sentinel, born in month of the Sentinel.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. You're the one that
So-
Dragon Mark
Yep, he
parents adored so much. Yeah.
Olaroon the Sentinel, full moon in the sky, day Luca was born. probably some ascending Therendor and Nim bullshit.
No, I think Willow
we could
will
make
set it.
we could make a
yes
whole
for everyone.
Yes.
situation.
We could. And now Willow can tell them. Yay! But no, Willow will set his date for him and then like point out little things. Probably point out the moon that corresponds with his dragon mark. It's a nice way to sort of cheer Luca up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he appreciates watching the thing work.
Yeah.
The thing you could also do is like rewind back to Conception Day.
Yeah, I think once he has seen his birthday, Luca will be like, how far back does it go? And then just start rolling back to see.
You can literally roll it back as far as you want.
Yeah, nice. I think we'll spend our morning just doing this.
Yeah,
and
we just
sketching
start
it as, like
fucking around.
playing with it.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a good way to relax
Mhm.
before you have to set out and do stuff.
But
Any prep you do before the appointment?
I prep my fist.
I think this is my prep, which is just leveling out my head, trying to figure out
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
yeah, are we taking
should
Fish
sort
Dog with
myself.
us?
Yep.
And then we'll choose a venue and let Fish Dog return to you. Yeah, so
My God. Yeah. I guess
Anne
so.
and Luca are gonna go and find somewhere inconspicuous
Oh.
to sit.
Before we go, I want to. I want to ask the front desk to send lunch up to Damon's room at like 3 or something.
Sure.
2
Yeah, you can do that.
or midday, maybe. Like whenever it seems like he might wake up after a long night. Just send it courtesy of our room.
Okay.
But he's also
Yeah.
paying for our room. So doesn't that mean he's
I'll
paying
give
for
them the
lunch?
money.
We'll make it work.
I gave money. I don't know that you guys took it back, but Willow would pay for the like. If there's a way to pay for it, Willow's paying shouting lunch to head back
Yeah.
up from our room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let me know how much that would cost.
Let's say 5 silver.
Enough for Damon.
Yeah.
So Willow would be like, set the portions right.
All right, shall we head out?
Okay.
Okay.
I think on the way out, I want to stop Willow and just ask if they told me everything.
Oh. Man, I think Willow will think about it and say, everything I can think to tell you. Everything that I know to tell. Everything that I can. At this time.
All right.
And is standing at a distance. Watching the two of you. Probably can overhear a little bit, but watching to see if anything goes awry.
No, that's it. Lucas starts walking again.
Probably, and is holding Fish Dog.
I think Willow's nervous, and like that question sort of struck through their nerves a bit, but like it's okay.
I think
They are.
as they're kind of like before they get to a point where they want to not be seen together, essentially. And is going to slap Willow hard on the shoulder, as hard as -1 strength gives them. Give it a little shake and a grin. Say, fuck him up.
Ow. Ow.
And start moving away. You got this.
I don't think Warforged feel pain.
No, get it all out of your system now.
Thank you. too soon. Hopefully.
If not, someone else is going to be feeling pain.
Yeah.
But you'll be fine. You might not know it, Willow, but you're actually a decent talker. And your eyes are the sharpest I've ever met. Gives Willow a little salute.
Damn. A little what, sorry?
Little salute.
Salute.
Salute?
And turns on their heel to start walking away. With the most confident little smile.
By golly, I think that worked a little, actually. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
You head to the apartment of Warford Bartosz. Ring the doorbell. You are buzzed in. He greets you at his front door. Says, "Good afternoon. Shall we get right to it?"
By all means.
He invites you inside. Would you like any refreshments?
Yes, please.
What can I give you? Tea, water, coffee, something stronger?
No choice. I can't drink it anyway.
Very well. He makes you a black coffee and one for himself. His apartment is much the same as the last time you saw it, but this time there's a little more space cleared in the studio.
What's
I haven't
changed?
had...
Oh, sorry.
some of the projects have been moved around or like put into storage. There seems to be more open workspace. Warfred says, "I've been playing around with some initial sketches for the concept, but I'm not quite satisfied with it. It has been only 3 days since we last saw each other. I usually have a little more time between appointments to come up with a composition, although admittedly, because of the unique arrangement we have, there is not really precedent for it."
Well, that's on me for being impatient with another appointment. So, no pressure.
In the meantime, I would perhaps like to do some more studies. I would
To what
like
end?
to be an accurate portrait, after all.
You mean this?
Gestures to their mask.
Well, that too. I did
Oh.
have some sketches, if you would like to see.
Oh, yes, please.
He opens to a page of his sketchbook, which shows some initial designs of a ceramic replica of the mask that you are wearing, with little notes about glazing it to a mirror finish.
How is he showing me this? Like, how are we...
It's literally like you're looking at sketches with his notes on it. They are
No, but
written
like
in
we're
common.
close.
I think you are sitting on opposing sides of like a coffee table.
Can I check that mark that was on his neck? From here?
Make another perception check.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if he's going to... also, I should have mentioned, I walked in with my globe and also something else in my pocket, and over my shoulder. But I think Willow placed it down. And if he isn't sitting close enough, Willow will, like, when he says, "Do you want to see the sketches?" Willow will, like, go around to his side of the table?
I think he handed you the sketchbook.
He handed it? Okay. But I would
Yeah.
like to see if I can sneak a glance at his that injury that was on his neck.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a scratch that is healing. Not from a claw or anything like that. The skin isn't like as broken. It just looks like either bruised or like scratched raw or rubbed raw.
Mm.
But it is healed more since the last time you saw it. It's pretty faint now.
Okay. And he was just talking about the process of his art.
Yes.
I think Willow's looking over the sketches, like impressed, nodding.
What do you think of it?
So the sketches are of just the mask, basically, but like
yes, but
polished,
made into a mirror.
made into a mirror. That's you clever little.
It.
Oh, I see.
I feel it
Interesting
is
concept.
lacking something or other. You did ask for a personal piece, so I took some inspiration from our conversation at our last appointment, but I feel it is lacking something in the presentation. It is a little too simplistic. I see you've brought along some items. Do you have a prior engagement, or are you coming from one?
Oh, I forgot to give you something.
Willow's going to go over to their bag. It's not also shaped like an orb, by the way. They just carry it in a satchel.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna rummage around in it and pull out the flowers from the other day, and it's been a few days now.
Hmm.
I don't know how wilted they would be, but they are probably
A little
distinctly
bit.
like not fresh flowers
Yes.
because they've been floating in
A
my
few days
party
old.
pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Willow sort of like looks them over. Obviously, you can't see their face, but like they
Yeah.
tilt their head at
tilts.
it, and they sort of like correct the flowers a little, and they say,
I was supposed to give you this the other day as a condolence, but I forgot.
Oh, thank you. I shall find some water to put these in.
I noticed you have all those insects on your walls, so maybe you know how to make something out of this, even though they are dying.
I can't say I typically work with plants, but I will think about it. The gift is appreciated. Thank you.
Hmm.
He sets them aside. In the meantime, I believe I would like to continue our interview as I make some further studies. I would like to know a little more about your life and your attitudes to various subjects.
Of course. Perhaps it is good then that we've had another appointment so soon.
Yes.
Speaking
So,
of, it's good to see you appear to be healing. Oh, your neck. I noticed you had a little scuff.
He touches his neck and sort of blinks confusion. I hadn't realized.
Willow like tilts their head, like they are very obviously tilting their head almost to like horizontal, as if to like look under his beard, but then like straighten up again.
In any case, it looks like it's getting better. Did you hurt yourself?
He like rubs at the injury and seems to frown slightly. I suppose I must have. Okay. He is pretending not to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Willow's going to straighten up again, like they're dismissing that.
Sorry, you were saying?
Yes, I wanted to ask you, what are subjects that you feel passionate about?
No. Um. Uh. Could you give me an example?
Well, for example, when I am asked to paint the portrait of a ship's captain, they will usually talk about what adventures they have been on, how they won their ship, how they gained their status. Merchant might want to present a portrait of wealth, of their history, of their finery. A scholar of their education, a traveler of their worldliness. That sort of thing. Things they consider themselves either experts in or having been shaped by.
Hmm.
What would you say has most significantly shaped you? Or rather, what would you like me to present you as having been shaped by?
Hmm. I understand the difficulties of your job now. Well, not that I didn't earlier. It's just asking these sorts of questions. It's hard to put it into words. Though I suppose that is an ongoing concern of my own. Words are not my strong suit. Which is, I suppose, why I've come to an artist. To depict it in other means. In that way I envy your work, if you think about it.
He nods.
To be obscure in art can be lauded. Mostly when I'm obscure, people just get mad.
Well, the point of art is to find truth through abstraction. I find that in everyday conversation, people don't really appreciate abstraction quite as much. It does
Very much.
make communication a little difficult when people are unwilling to deal with the metaphorical.
Yes, all. Be unpleasant.
He nods. Quite so.
Which is, again, why I imagine I've been drawn to your work in particular. It is very distinctly unpleasant. On purpose, I believe you said.
I do aim to, how shall I say, hold a mirror to the world's true nature. And, well, in the last century there has been plenty of ugliness to behold.
Hmm. But the mirror you are holding has faced another mirror.
Indeed.
Willow gestures to their own face.
Perhaps not a mirror itself, but you do conceal yourself.
Hmm.
In other ways, the masks we wear are sometimes what we wish we could be. Do you wish you could be a Warforged? To have clear purpose and origin?
Oh, that's interesting.
He regards you, waiting for an answer.
I'm unsure. Well, maybe the answer is just unpleasant.
As you said, I am quite adept at dealing with uncomfortable topics.
I don't know. I have a tricky relationship with the Warforged. That's for certain.
Tell me about it.
Well, they are made to behave in an inhuman way, but then they are charged by a human feeling. Then I suppose there is no difference between that and a soldier.
They were indeed designed to replace living soldiers on the battlefield.
But then they live too. Which means that they die too.
Most things do. Fashions die. Trends die. Ideas die. It is a very charged word to die. It implies a finality that is often misunderstood. I mean, when you play a song, at the end of it, does the song die?
That's interesting. Suppose you were going to have interesting points of view about death, you make death masks.
It is somewhat of a subject of fascination and a part of my heritage. The way we memorialize figures, not in record of word or in record of deed, but by the impression that their legacy leaves. It is a very Moorish thing to not be concerned with the details of history so much as the shape of a legacy. I suppose these days the legacy of Kenneth is the Warforged. Granted sentient rights by the Treaty of Thornhold.
So I am wearing a death mask myself? Of Kenneth.
You built the mask yourself, and it is of Kenneth construction. Were you an apprentice there?
A student?
I see.
Hmm.
But you are not of House Kenneth yourself.
No.
And you are of Ciri and yet not of Ciri.
Hmm.
You dress yourself as a Warforged and yet are not a Warforged at all. Interesting.
Hmm. Say, I'm not very good at conversation. You may realize this as you are handling most of this conversation. So maybe I would be more comfortable with a game. You recall our wager?
I recall you offering to make one, yes, in exchange for removing your mask. Something or other. What game would you have us play?
Well, I have something in mind.
Please do share.
You have been in the principalities for, did you say 2 years?
I have passed through here many times, but yes, Regalport has been my place of residence for the last 2 years.
Have you ever witnessed a duel?
I have. A couple of times.
To the death?
No. Simply for pride's sake.
Well, I have no intention to duel you. Unless...
I can't say that...
unless you wanna.
I can't say that I am proficient in the means of swords.
But you are proficient in the means of words. Very proficient. So, a duel of truth, then. Head here.
He raises an eyebrow and gives a curious smirk. How interesting. And how would this duel of truth work?
I would say... Pretend that we are exchanging blows. You ask a question. The question must be answered truthfully. You can't skip a question any more than you can skip a strike in battle. You answer the question truthfully. It is as if you have struck, and you gain 1 point. If you answer a question, and it's a lie, perhaps you lose 2 points. You are struck. First to 5 wins, then I suppose first to -5 would automatically lose. Something like
And
that?
how would we be able to determine what question is truthful or not?
You're very perceptive. I suppose you could press on a point if you think it might be a lie. If not, then I suppose you are credited for your truth. Or for your ability to lie very well. In which case, this is probably not a very good game for me, but I'm not a game maker.
So, the person who answers the question truthfully gains the point. Then, what motive is there for the opposition to ask questions?
Learning, I suppose. Difficult truths. You see, I find perhaps it is just the nature of my conditioning. As much as I like to share the darker thoughts I would like to, it's hard to motivate them out. Similarly, in polite conversation, asking hard questions, asking dire questions, is not necessarily encouraged, so I suppose the motivation for asking questions is that morbid fascination that we seem to have between us.
Might I propose a different set of rules?
You may.
If you don't want to answer a question, you must ask a question.
Provide an example.
Say, for example, let's use some petty things. You ask me what my preferred drink is. I do not want to answer the question. Therefore, I ask you a question. The only way one is able to ask questions is to avoid answering. But if you answer a question and you answer truthfully, then you gain a point. And if you ask a question and your opponent refuses to answer, they gain a point.
Ah. A true reward for honesty rather than a punishment for lying.
Indeed.
And in each avoidance, there's an opportunity for a point. Clever.
Indeed.
Well, that works. Suppose all that's left is what I get if I win.
Quite so. What would you ask of me as equal to removing your mask and allowing me to inspect it?
I don't know you well enough to know. I've been thinking about it, but I suppose I pose that same question back to you. Something about you that you would get to meet.
Perhaps you would like to see my truly personal work. The things I do not share anywhere.
Oh, that sounds very up my alley.
Sounds like a fair game, then. Shall we play?
Willow sits up straight. Like they are finally, like he was talking before about all of the things, but now they seem like they are invested in the conversation. They're going to say,
And what happens in the dueling ring stays in the dueling ring, yes?
Of course. A private match. Wit against
No
wit.
holds barred?
If you insist.
Nothing like a little danger to spice up a regular conversation, as they say.
Oh,
Willow will nod, ready to go.
are you intending to ask me dangerous questions?
I think all truths can be dangerous. Exchanging secrets is a dangerous ordeal, I think.
Interesting.
Then again, I'm a very secretive person, so... Shall we?
Let us. He extends his hand to shake yours.
Yeah, Willow shakes his hand.
Okay.
What kind of grips he got? Killing grip?
Make either a perception or an insight check.
Insight.
His hands are... He has like a firm grip, but not one of strength. He does not have the requisite calluses for somebody who wields any sort of weapon. But there are hints of perhaps being a spellcaster. Not a one-slinger, but a spellcaster nonetheless. This is maybe not surprising, as you remember he did have illusion magic infused into many of his art pieces.
Yes. Yes, quite indeed, yes.
As you shake hands, sizing up Warford Bartosz as he sizes you up in a quiet apartment in Regalport, we will end the episode here.